a lot of you at events as well. Yeah, I just wanted to say again, I echo everything that everyone before me has said. I don't think there's ever been a more difficult time, but at the same time, a more inspiring time for myself. Seeing the educator community come together and work together and overcome some really crazy challenges has been one of the highest points, I think, of my time here at Wakelet. So I just appreciate everybody joining today. And hopefully by the end of this, you'll be able to come away with some really cool ideas. And we had Ken Shelton on in a webinar a couple of weeks back, and he was saying how it shouldn't really be called social distancing. It should just be called physical distancing, because staying connected is really important through this. It's not social distancing, it's just physical distancing. So what we're doing right now, I think, is really impactful and powerful. But I guess if it's Becky still here, or shall I pass it on to you, Kathy?
I'm back.
Okay, here we are.
I'm back. You're just a friendly neighborhood. Just come on back. I just closed and rejoined. For those of you who haven't used Teams before or FaceTime or anything, we all know if it freezes, just leave and come back. So I did that. Thanks, Anne, for the cover. So I'm Becky Keene. I'm a part of the Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert community, and I'm so thankful that Kathy invited me to moderate this chat with her. We are co-authors in our new book, and we've been connected for a long time. And these are 3 tools that I love as well. But more importantly, the concept of being able to teach and connect with others while we are not physically close, as Nisba just pointed out, is extremely impactful. And I have 2 kids at home, and I'm seeing the impact that it makes when their teachers make an effort to connect with them in a really emotional way. So happy to be here with you all.
Should maybe Idil say a quick hello too?
Yes, we'd love that.
Yes. Hey there, folks. Ida from Bunsey here. Really excited to be here. So this topic is honestly one that's really dear to my heart. So what you'll notice is I'm probably sitting a little bit of a darkness. So my family too has been affected by COVID-19. So I'm really excited for this conversation because it's something that I think is something that people really need to consider as you move into, a remote environment, that it's really, just as Misbah said, more about that social connection that we need to be thinking about. So I have the pleasure and honor to be able to work with our community here, and I'm excited to join the conversation. All right. I'll pass it back to you.
I am understanding, I've just gotten a text from a friend who says that the chat doesn't seem to be available for meeting participants. So I'm going to totally absorb that one. That would be my fault because I set up all the settings for this meeting. If I look busy over here, it's because I'm not talking and I'm frantically trying to figure that out so I can enable that chat for you.
Do you want me to help with that, Kathy? Because it is available. Everyone is chatting. We're over here with lots of people chatting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you're not able to see the chat, it might just be that you have joined through your own school system. The best way to get, and your school system has a different setting than we have on this call. So the best thing to do is, if that doesn't work for you, you can try rejoining the call, or you can also use a private browser or an incognito window to join, and that should help you out.
Oh, thanks, Becky.
Yeah, always here to give a Teams tip whenever needed.
That's so great. Hey, Marie, how about if we start with you?
Okay.
And if you could tell us a little, because you and I were the first 2 who started talking about this idea in the first place, and you just have such a big heart. As a matter of fact, that's how Bunsey got started. So if you could just tell us a little bit about that, about what Bunsey is, maybe even just how it got started, and then start to share some of your favorite stories about how people have been using Bunsey to do this magic.
Absolutely. And let me say again what an honor it is to have Bunsey and myself and our team participating in this. Thank you again, Kathy and Becky. But for those of you that don't know, I have an interesting background. We had a medical research foundation prior to my starting Bunsey, and unfortunately we lost a little girl to a very rare disease. And after leaving, we started the foundation, grew it over 10, 12, 15 years. And when I left a meeting, I wanted to share, it's ironic that we're having this talk now, Kathy, because I wanted to share essentially a Bunsie, and Bunsie didn't exist at the time, to share my gratitude with the scientists and the clinicians that I worked with. So it's sort of ironic that we're back in this gratitude phase and sharing emotion, and it's related to something medical. So there's an interesting sort of loop on that. But that being said, what I wanted to do was essentially share all kinds of media in one way, one Bunsie. And in our conferences, we would take pictures and have video and audio and PDFs, et cetera. And I wanted to put it all into something and have it share out, make it look reasonably good. I'm not very good at Photoshop, so I needed it to be easy to use. And that was the origin of Bunsie. So we are here now in this moment where everybody does need, I mean, think about it. We're doing this right now, right? But I'm sure most of us have either done Zoom calls with family and friends and found different ways to stay connected. In some ways, you might argue that people are, this is such a challenge, but in a way, we're staying more connected. Or making a point of it that we may not have done before. So it is an absolute honor to be one of the tools considered for that kind of connectedness. Wakelet and Flipgrid, I think, are also fabulous for that purpose. But at this moment, I guess what I'll do is, for those of you that don't know what Bunsie is, it's a content creation tool that has all forms of media in one palette so that you can grab media and you don't have to go out in the internet to have to choose all kinds of different things. It's all in one place. So we have in excess of 34, we have 2 designers that create assets, like some of the hearts behind these lovely ladies that create assets all day long. We have greater than 34,000 different assets. So there's something for everyone in Bunsie. There's anything from education and backgrounds to grunge metal or robots. And we have a bunch of rockets. I'm remembering what you said earlier about wanting to be an astronaut. So let me move over to my screen to share. And can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah. How are we doing now?
Here it comes. Yep.
Okay. So I am going to start because the truth of the matter is we're all here to help our communities and most certainly our students. And earlier today, Tisha Poncio, her son Jace, had created a Bunsie some time ago that really touched my heart. And it was all related to sharing how you feel during this time that you're apart. And so I asked her earlier today if he would mind if I share it. But I also asked if he would mind sharing what he thinks about all of the tools and what it means to him to have these tools to share while we're in this remote learning. So the question was, how does technology help you share how you're feeling? And he said, and I think this actually sums up this whole webinar, it helps kids by letting their imagination explain their feelings. So he had created this, which his mom shared. It's a Bunsie where he took bunches of stickers to share and assets and backgrounds to share how he felt when the day that he learned that he was not going to be going back to school this year. So I thought it was so profound. I mean, these are, I'm guessing, he didn't actually step me through it all, but these are things that made him feel better. These were perhaps just some stickers that he chose to say, here are some things I'll do while I'm home. And this would be another one. So I thought that was absolutely sort of perfect for him to share how he was feeling emotionally just by grabbing stickers that he could share in a Bunsie. This was sort of ironic. This just popped up, I want to say about an hour before the call. One of our dear friends in Florida, Barbie Monty, her school, she had thrown together this, do I have it off? Yeah. This screencast of different Bunsies that students have created to share their gratitude, what they're grateful for, just to be mindful of things that are important which is always important when you're in the middle of a challenge. So these were just all different bunsies that were created. One project that we have right now is sharing, it's called Hugs for Heroes. And we have created a board of different bunsies to share to the medical field and police and the folks keeping the grocery stores running, all the different heroes really right now. So this was a screencast of some of the bunsies that they created. This one I thought also just came up, was interesting just this morning. And this is a child that is actually thanking the doctors that are helping his Nona. And he's sick and in Boston, so he was able to create this and share it. We also have seen things like this, which is really, really cute. It's an assistant principal in Hillsborough in Florida.
Happy Wednesday. It's April 1st. I am full of hope. Did you notice my shirt? Shout out to my Auburn volleyball teammates, because that's right. They've actually been watching our Bronco broadcast. They are teachers and administrators all across the United States.
Well, she goes on, and then she actually does a birthday thing for her different.
She must be doing some online shopping later. Look at Mrs. Matthews.
So this is a bunsie that she creates to share with her school. Here we have Lori Guyon. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of the educators in our community, but in reality, we have seen amazing work from all of them. So please know, anybody who's on, if I'm not shouting out to you today, know that we love you dearly. But Lori created all these different parent newsletters in the beginning using Bunsie that she was sharing with the families, and different links and whatnot throughout. Okay, here, this was also very touching. Another Lori shout out, but as we all know, many people, including myself, actually, have had birthdays where you can't go anywhere right now. So Lori was saying, why don't we, and we have a couple of these boards that have been created for children that have had birthdays and no parties. So we created all kinds of different bunsies to send to those children. Here, Deanne Poland, it created a Let's Send a Smile. So this was a board of different bunsies to just say, hey, I'm thinking about you and let me try to make you smile. Michael Drezick had started Miles of Smiles years ago. And so there have been many things that have been spawned from that original Miles of Smiles. Here is Deb Zeman in Texas, just started this Haikus at Home. And she's thinking also of what can be done to be created for graduates now. For high school graduates, college graduates. So this is one board that she had created. And that's it. I will pass the baton to, let's see, we're doing an alphabetical, right. So it's Anne's turn now. So thank you for this opportunity. And thank you mostly to all of the educators that are out there doing this amazing work. This is just a little snapshot of some of the love that we've seen shared using Bunsie. And I will tell you, for us, the Bunsie team, not a lot makes us feel better than knowing that this is a way that our tool is used. So I am going to stop sharing now, and your turn, Anne.
And as Anne gets started, I just want to point out that the chat has been so active with people, commenting, I love that one, that was amazing. And for those of you who are seeing your favorites, we highly recommend you grab a screenshot of something you see that you love and tweet that out, because our friends who aren't on this call right now are not going to be able to maybe even watch the recording. So seeing your screenshots of things that you love with our hashtag with Heart Well Apart gives access to all of your followers to these great ideas. All right, take it over, Anne.
Awesome. I just unmuted myself, and somebody on the call, if you want to give me a thumbs up that you see my screen. Perfect. So friends, as Marie just said, we simply want to say thank you so much. And this event being called With Heart While Apart speaks to what you as educators around the world are doing every single day. You are sharing connections, you are sharing smiles, you are sharing encouraging words. And as we all have transitioned into this remote learning situation, it looks completely different. And I want to start by sharing an example that we saw come through. Actually, it was a month ago from the university. It's called Newcastle University over in the UK. And we saw a tweet that said 239 medical students who were graduating from their program had to take their Hippocratic oath, and they have to do it in public. And they did it on a Flipgrid, and each unique person, every smile here represents somebody in that community sharing their voice. And those of you who are new to Flipgrid, that's what it is. It's a video communication platform that works asynchronously and provides you a unique way to share your learning, to share your voice, to share anything, whether it's academic related, personal. And this unique example where people finishing their medical degrees and immediately going into service was one of those examples that stopped me in my track. And I listened. I don't think I had ever heard the Hippocratic Oath recited before. And I just watched video after video and was incredibly moved listening to all of their voices. But it was the first ever online graduation ceremony that Newcastle University had hosted. And beyond that, what they did was actually link a grid, and it was a place for folks from the university, chancellors, professors, the president of the university, folks to share those words of congratulations and words of celebration. And I keep thinking about communities around the world as you are looking to celebrate those milestone moments. This is one of those ways that you can still celebrate the incredible accomplishments that have taken place during the course of this school year. And the shift to remote learning is defining what learning looks like now with regards to integrating technology and staying connected. But we have just seen these inspiring examples of communities completely shifting and taking programming online. This example from Lincoln, Nebraska is from our good friend Mike Smith, who's actually from Find Your Grind. And what they have done is taken their complete programming for their community and are sharing it in a grid space. So whether it's wellness, art, skateboarding, photography, wellness, yoga, they are just linking an entire grid within their other grids and sharing incredible examples, mindfulness, yoga, warm-ups. So I keep thinking of these incredible things that are happening. And if you're not familiar with even how do teachers, how do we as professionals continue our learning? EdCamp Remote Learning took place last week, and I just wanted to show some of these topics. Google tools, offline tips, parenting and teaching together, self-care, humanizing remote learning, coaching and collaborating, help I'm struggling with. Friends, there are so many ways that you can share, that you can continue to stay connected. And I think about things like what the spirit of togetherness means, and whether it's sharing silly moments or serious moments or happy moments or sad moments. You inspire us every day with what you're doing to keep your community inspired and engaged and empowered. So I'm just so honored to be here on behalf of Team Flipgrid and say thank you to educators around the world for doing what you're doing every single day.
And that is awesome. And I love that you just said that it's for celebrations, but sometimes it's for sad things too. I've seen Flipgrid and Buncee get well cards kind of sent out to people, in that kind of a thing. So just all kinds of life events happening. Life events, just everything. I put in the chat, like when a student loses their first tooth, okay, if they're not 14, but if they're, 6 and they've lost their first tooth, that's reason for a celebration. And I know teachers who have used Flipgrid to have all the other kids say, congratulations, you finally lost, and that's what this is all about today. That was beautiful.
Yeah. And we've been completely moved. I mean, we see those school-wide showcases, birthday grids, virtual pet parades, the Masked Singer, folks like Melissa Hayes and Mark Pike, Melissa Fallon. Steve Dunham is an administrator who's doing those morning meetings and announcements every day, those daily check-ins. But Bayside Online is saying you can't cancel community. And it's been so incredible to see the way that folks are taking not only academic connections that they're still continuing to foster in their learning communities, but to me, it's the contagious connection of community. And you're not calling this with heart while apart just for any reason. It's because educators, friends of EDU, whether you're a teacher, a coach, a specialist, an administrator, working in corporate, America, around the world, companies, global enterprises, everybody is sharing their heart in a spirit of togetherness while we're apart. So it's incredible to see every example.
Beautiful. And who's going to take it from Wakelet first? Misbah, Jamil?
Yeah, I'll pick up from here. So just thank you, Kathy and Becky, again for organising this, and Anne and Marie for showing some unbelievable use cases. Every time I see people using stuff in so many different ways, it's really impactful and exciting for us, and it's kind of very motivating and inspiring. At the end of the day, this situation came out of nowhere, and the way that all the educators have had to basically try to deal with this in the first few days and the first few weeks, to try to basically assemble the kids and support the parents and do everything that they had to do must have been completely difficult. And I think Charlie put out a tweet which was really powerful along the lines of, I think people have finally realized the true basically value of educators when people have got all their kids at home now and they've got to basically self-teach people. So thank you so much. And I think it's why both Bunsey, Flipgrid and our team are really inspired to work harder to improve our platforms, to provide more functionality for you guys so you can basically do things. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about Wakelet, very minor really, just so you understand what the platform is. And I'd love to show you a few use cases really, some of my favorite ones. Some of them are in the classroom and some of them are not in the classroom that people are using Wakelet for. So I'm just going to share my screen because I think it's quite easy to see things visual. Can everyone see my screen?
No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
coming.
okay,
Yeah, we
awesome.
got it.
Yeah, so basically when I set out to create Wakelet at the beginning, it was basically to allow people to bookmark, organize and curate any content from the internet. And then to give you a scenario, the problem I was facing, I was working at Airbus, the aircraft company, and basically I had a bunch of links. So it could be tweets, it could be videos, it could be YouTube links, it could be anything online. And I wanted a way of quickly assembling and organizing all these things into something which is more meaningful and something that I can share very easily. So what Wakelet allows you to do very simply is just take all these different URLs and basically just assemble them into collections like this. So that document basically represents those links. And if I click into any of these collections, you can basically have background images, cover images, title, a description, and then you can start to see all the different links, which are very visually placed. Videos look like videos, links look like links, tweets will look like tweets, and you can have different layouts. Now, the great thing with Wakelet is very flexible. You can maneuver all the content around and organize it again. You can add your own text, record Flipgrid videos, add Bunsey animations, and do a lot more on that basis. So the whole idea for me first was basically to allow people to kind of tell their stories, communicate their ideas, show different perspectives and really what's happening out there. But actually it's blew up into something, thanks to you guys, into something so much more than I could have even ever imagined. And the use cases that I'm seeing are unbelievable. So I'm just going to jump onto this use case, which I love, from Brandy. So, I mean, this is a nice use case to kind of show the transition of what Brandy was doing, firstly in the classroom, and then basically to kind of support the remote learning needs of the parents and the students. So I'm just going to skip this area first and just go on to weekly newsletters. So you can see before, Brandy was basically organizing all her content in Wakelet Collection. So it could be videos, lesson plans, articles, text, etc. And you can see she stopped doing that basically on March the 2nd, that kind of week. Now, before that, she was also organizing what was going on in the school and reading resources. So parents can sit down with the kids and see what's being taught in the classroom, and also maths resources, homework, etc. Now, the great thing with this is very easy, it's very visual. And Brandy said to us at the beginning, look, parents don't read emails. We wanted somewhere where they can go when they've got time to kind of view everything. And this is making people engage more with the kids. Now, since basically these situations come by and we're not able to kind of go to schools and communicate properly, she started to assist the parents to kind of create all the different lessons basically for her students. So the students can go here, sit with their parents, join different video calls, and basically all the information's here for them, the homework, the videos, lesson plans, tasks, even links to Zoom or Microsoft Teams, so they can basically join different sessions. And it's just beautiful. And I think the great thing that we do with collaborations, like this one here with basically Microsoft Immersive Reader, there's a number of students in the class that are not basically literate in English as a first language. So now with Microsoft Immersive Reader, very easily, you can have a look at different things, whether it's for accessibility, different text sizes, even looking at translations into different languages. It's quite simple to kind of do this and have read aloud as well. So by working with all these different partners, it brings a lot more functionality very quickly and let people focus on what they're good at focusing. Okay, the next one I'm just going to show you is just a small personal use case. I've basically missed going to the gym, missed hanging out with the team. So from that point of view, I've organized a number of my home workouts. So I kind of found small, short 10-minute workouts, 6-minute workouts, or longer workouts. And now I'm able to kind of like basically do this at home when I'm not basically around anyone else. I'm going to let Misbah jump on to kind of show you a few more use cases now.
Hey everybody. Yeah, I'm not going to go on too long. I think that in terms of an introduction, there's really nothing that I can say that anybody else hasn't already said. Seeing everybody come together and just create amazing things using all platforms together has been truly inspiring. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully show you a few examples of how the three platforms, the marriage of the three platforms have come together to kind of showcase some really amazing learning experiences outside of the classroom, and like Jan said, inside of the classroom as well. But I'm going to share my screen with you, and hopefully you guys can see this. Just let me know. I know it takes a little while. Just let me know once you can see the screen.
Yep, you're good.
We got it.
Amazing. Okay, so big shout out to Mr. V, Edward van der Sample. This is a really good example of the marriage of Flipgrid and Wakelet, I guess, because here a teacher has been able to create this amazing dynamic lesson plan that's interactive and that these students can look at, find information, and look what you've got right there, a Flipgrid video. So the beautiful thing about this is that the ability to record a Flipgrid video directly into a Wakelet collection means that Mr. V can now record actual instructions to his students using the Flipgrid camera on Wakelet. And then ask those students to respond to it using a collaboration Wakelet. So imagine how powerful this can be in a remote classroom. We've got lots of teachers now who are using that combination of Wakelet and Flipgrid to create these really amazing, impactful lesson plans that the students can interact with whilst they're at home and then submit assignments via Wakelet. So yeah, I just want to say big shout out to Flipgrid. I think the ability to take people's voice, whether it's a teacher, a student, a parent, whoever it might be, and then embed that into a Wakelet collection to add context to all this amazing content that's being shared is really, really powerful. We have, this example is for later on, Jam. And on top of that as well, there's a lot of fun things that are happening. I think that, again, you know, the hashtag with Heart While Apart, I think it's outside of the classroom that matters as well. I think that a lot of teachers are missing their students and a lot of students are missing their teachers. So this is an amazing little collection put together by Tisha Poncho, she's just started it, where her learning group are sharing recipes that they're going to be trying to bake at home, and everybody can have feedback and, you know, talk about how it went and that type of thing. So yeah, just something as simple as sharing recipes, just to kind of take that edge off. And you know, you've got pictures here of people who have actually tried out recipes and they've come out really well, which is amazing. Another awesome example from Tisha as well is, bear with me a moment, seems to be, I can unpin this. Becky, you might be able to help. I'm trying to get to the top of the screen, but the presenting bar is at the top, so I can't reach my. Okay, I'll do it here.
Yeah, yes, I would just do that.
Okay.
It won't unpin for you.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another awesome collection again by Tisha, and I absolutely love this. This is using Wakelet's collaboration feature. So this is a family quarantine sub-collection challenge, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it's really simple, right? What she's done is she's got her study group and her students to create collections that just include these things here. So a collaborative collection that has one photo or video of your family doing an activity, your pets, a movie that you're watching, a meme that your family enjoy, and even a Flipgrid video as well, explaining what the collection is about. And the results that she got from her students are amazing. So, you know, here I can click and I can find that this student has, you know, put together an amazing collection that's really simple, but it just kind of shows that nice human side about what's going on outside. This is a picture of their family, a movie that they all watch together as a family, some food that they've been eating, and it can just be as simple as that, really. Let's move on very quickly to another awesome example. So this one I find really, really important. This is a student who's actually been taking the time off during these school closures to create their digital portfolio on Wakelet. And I'd really suggest a lot of teachers, if your students are, you know, 13 or over, 15, 16, to recommend that they use Wakelet to actually create a digital portfolio whilst they're at home. So Julie's been able to put together, and again, these are just links from the web. She's been able to put together this amazing portfolio of all of her contact, her resume, videos that she's done, graphics, a playlist. She's a Wakelet student ambassador, so she's put all of the stuff that she's done on there. And then on top of that as well, she also has a cake business. So she actually, in her spare time, she's very entrepreneurial, which we love to see. She's got a cake company, and your mouths are going to water after this, because what she's done is she's taken all the pictures of the cakes that she's made and put them all into one place as part of her resume. So when she's looking at, you know, to sell cakes to people in the local community to kind of bring a smile on their face, they can just visit this collection, choose one that they like, that they're inspired by, and then she can then create that. So I think that this is another awesome thing, like I said, that students are doing during their time off school, just making sure that all the awesome stuff that they've done throughout their school year isn't being missed, and that they can put it all into one place. And, you know, it just takes minutes to put together a Wakelet profile. So that's another awesome use case. And then let's see what we've got next. Yeah, this is another awesome one. So I wanted to show this just because, again, it shows that awesome marriage between the three platforms, right? So just a while ago, you know, Wakelet and Buncee, we got together and we decided how awesome would it be if people could actually embed Buncees into a Wakelet collection, and then, you know, be able to take that awesome visual content from Buncee, supplement it with some context, some other types of content. And so, yeah, now you've got an interactive Buncee in a Wakelet collection, which I absolutely love. Again, this is really important, because I think that one of the things that we've learned is that the three companies that are kind of speaking to you today, you know, coming together and just trying to find awesome solutions for teachers and improve their workflows and kind of put smiles on people's faces. And again, another one with Flipgrid. So another awesome thing that students are doing during the lockdown is they're taking part in the Student Ambassador Program, the Wakelet Student Ambassador Program. So this was put together by the amazing Tish and Deborah, who I think are in the chat. So big shout out to them, and also inspired by Mary Alice as well, who's also in the chat. And the program's really simple. It's just a way for students to engage those 6 C's, engage those things that may not be engaged in the curriculum, and just kind of really focus on some key skills, and also become student leaders, and at the end of the program become a Wakelet student ambassador. And one of the tasks in the program is to design a flag for the student ambassador program. So Wyatt's done this. And then he's added a Flipgrid video here that explains why he chose this particular design and what his experiences were, the things that he liked about it, the challenges that he faced. And again, this is part of the Student Ambassador Program, which I'd implore a lot of teachers, if you've got students over the age of 13 and your hands are a little bit full and you're looking for something to give them that's like a ready-made, designed, awesome kind of lesson plan that they can also at the end of it become official Wakelet student ambassadors, I'd really recommend getting involved in that. And then in just terms of like fun stuff, we've got people creating like these big kind of libraries on Wakelet just to sort of take people's minds off what's going on. I really love this collection just because I'm a 90s kid. I know that there are some 80s stuff on here as well, Jam. But yeah, these are just some awesome, like a collection of cartoons that you know, parents are looking at with their kids. I don't know if anyone remembers the Gummy Bears. That theme tune is just absolutely seared into my brain. I love it. But yeah, just full episodes on YouTube and Dailymotion and stuff on these things. So there's a really light-hearted way outside of the classroom that people are using Wakelet. And Jam, I'll just pass over to you as well, just to show what we've been doing with the team.
Yeah, I think, Miss Bar, I'll bring that at the end. I think maybe we'll give it back to Kathy first, and then we'll come back with
Sure,
that.
sounds good.
It's a bit more lighthearted.
Well, prior to this, I didn't know if I would have a chance to talk, and I certainly didn't need to. But of course, you know, I'm so motivated by this because I wear my heart on my sleeve myself, and this whole aspect that's happened in the past few weeks where we just want the humanity. We just want to share that. I just went out and I started looking at examples that I found or I knew of on Buncee Wakelet and Flipgrid. Of course, I stuck them in a Wakelet. I can't show them all to you because I went a little overboard with it, but I'll show you a few things that just really spoke to me. And I'm going to, I hope you can all see this. I want to start, oh my goodness, look, there's the same example you shared, Anne. Isn't that cool? Wait, I want to come back up to the top. There was something. All right. I found this tweet this morning. So look what this Beth Henman, and I don't know her, but she was grading Flipgrid posts tonight, and I can see that a couple of my students just don't have their usual spark. Sure, it could be my tarea, which is, you know, Spanish for homework, but it could also be the weight of our circumstances catching up. My feedback took a different turn. And I feel like that is so much of what's going on. You know, we're just starting to redirect our focus. And look, I've got it's Tisha Day here on this webinar. So I've got something that Tisha has done as well that she's doing with remote learning. She's got a Flipgrid grid that's moderated, and it's just called I Miss Your Face, which I love. I love the title of that. So she, you know, she's giving them that opportunity to connect with her just by saying I miss your face. And they know that if they send videos to a moderated Flipgrid, that only the teacher will see it. And so it's private, and it's a way for them to connect with her privately. A few other examples. I mean, you know, I was pretty big on Flipgrid AR, Flipgrid augmented reality, and I don't think that's something we have to let go of just because we're not in the classroom. And I'll zoom again to show you. These were some ideas for things that might take a little doing, but, you know, you could make bookmarks for your students that have a little Flipgrid augmented reality message in them, and go old school, you know, use the United States Postal Service and send those out. This is a Mother's Day gift that I did, oh my gosh, I probably did 15 years ago before there was a Flipgrid, and I did it with audio recordings. But with Flipgrid AR, oh my gosh, if your students made Flipgrid videos and you buy these little acrylic keychains, or use whatever you have around the house and turn it into a keychain, you could still do remote Mother's Day gifts, right? Using technology, using Flipgrid technology. Oh my gosh, there's so many ideas. I can't even share them all. I have to tell this story right here, though. This is a Wakelet Connect collection called Just Keep Swimming. And the guys from Wakelet know this because I shared it with them. I have a teacher who, in my school, she is extremely phobic of technology. See if this will load. She actually cried a lot of times once this started. She wasn't able to connect with her kids anymore. She thought she was being asked to learn things like Seesaw and Nearpod. Everything was hard for her, and she just felt like everybody was blowing past her. So she got on. I had a one-to-one Teams chat, what we're doing right now, but just she and I, and I taught her. I said, you know what? Forget all the other tech. Let me just show you Wakelet. Just Wakelet, okay? And I showed her Wakelet, and the very first thing she did when she created this was she created a newsletter with a video of herself using Flipgrid inside of Wakelet because she can make everything in one place. And so I just thought this was magical. She sent this to me, and the subject line was, I climbed Mount Everest. Because that's how she felt about the fact that she just went from 0 to super impressive. And now she creates a weekly newsletter with just a few things that she can send, and she has a way to connect with her students again, thanks to the power of Wakelet and Flipgrid. By the way, I just want to say, you know, like you can put a Buncee and a Flipgrid and a Flipgrid and a Wakelet and a Wakelet and a Buncee, and like all these just apps smashed together. So you can use them all so beautifully, interchangeably. I have more examples on here. Oh, Buncee has a whole bunch of templates. Do you see those? This one up here, this hello one. They've been creating templates that do the work for us. They're helping us to connect with our students. So here's one you could share with your kids. How are you feeling? What will you do today? Do you have any questions or concerns? And all of these are just ways to make those magical connections with our kids. There's the Masked Singer one. I think somebody referred to it earlier. Flipgrid, somebody did a Masked Singer fun connection activity with their students, and Barbie Monty saw that it was a Flipgrid activity and felt inspired to make it a Buncee activity too. So, and that's in the Buncee, in the library of activities in Buncee. So I've just been kind of curating some things that inspire me. Hopefully you'll curate some things that inspire you. And we're definitely going to curate anything that has hashtag with heart well apart into a giant collection I wanted to share.
Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy.
One more collection, if that's okay.
I'm sorry?
I'd just like to share one more collection, if that's okay.
I was hoping you would.
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a personal one to us just quite recently, so I'll just quickly switch screens. Thank you.
Ida also had a personal one too, Kath.
Great.
Oh, that's cool. So basically, I mean, at the end of the day, even for us, the team's a close-knit team, similar to Buncee and Flipgrid, and we love each other as well. Genuinely, we hang out, we're friends, we work long hours, so it's more than just work to us. We love everything we do, and it's because of all the inspirational things that we've been seeing all the education community do. So what we've done this week is we've started to kind of like create a Wakelet page, and every single day we're basically asking team members just to put in cool things that they've done in a day, whether it's a picture, whether they went to a walk or they've made some cake or whatever it is, just so we can kind of see each other and kind of share little moments. So people have been sharing stuff like Misbah had a haircut, he's created a Flipgrid video to kind of go through his haircut. Rick's been on the VR. John, I don't know why I do this, but anyway, he created a remote working guide. I wanted to clean my car for the first time. Finn's been doing some barbecuing, and basically just personal stuff that basically keeps us all connected and keeps the team just scrolling through and seeing what everyone else in the team have been doing. So I think that for me has been something very simple and very powerful to kind of do. Over to you, Ida.
Oh yeah, sure. Hey, one of the big ideas that I had is I'm really big on memories. It's really one thing that really stands out to me. And so one of my big ideas with Buncee was that I started actually using it to collect different memories over time. And it was actually similar to your idea, Jam. So I'm going to share my screen. And this one's a personal one, so I created it myself. But what this essentially is my scrapbooks. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So this is just one of the scrapbooks that I actually put together. So I actually travel quite a bit. And so what I normally do is I take a lot of photos and different videos to capture each of the different moments. But then it came to a point where I had thousands of photos in my, my computer, and I was like, what do I do with it? And so what I wanted to do is actually create a whole memory about, all of the different trips that I have, and also, the different events that I have with my family. And so as I went through, I actually made this Buncee myself, but I put the different graphics together, really just to document my entire journey. So you'll see like the different cities that I went through. And then just moving forward, I started adding all the different pictures and different little GIFs of actual video clips that I had for the trip. So it was a great way for me to be able to share that. And so when I think about, some of the stories that are happening where, our community is really having this difficulty being able to see each other, this is just another way for you to actually reflect back on a full year on, things that you've done. So being able to create yearbooks or scrapbooks or things that you might want to do with your family to be able to, share what you're doing together. And so this was just one of my trips. I'm actually working on a personal level on my second scrapbook. It's currently 92 pages, so I got quite a bit to go. I'm actually going to hit it closed at 100. So I printed these books out, by the way. So I added the QR code so you could re-access it. But this is just another quick example of just sharing, thinking about how you're at home now. You have the opportunity to really just connect with your family in general. And so this is, I created this for my sister because, she had her first child. So I wanted her to have a great way to just be able to document and see that story with the journey for her and her husband. And so just as you go through, you're able to document and such. So just thinking back to how everyone is in a remote context, there's so many different awesome ways to be able to use tech just to be able to build those connections, whether it's, with someone in a different school or, just another person in your class, but also at home. And so having these fun opportunities to do so is just another opportunity you have with different technologies out there like Buncee, Flipgrid, and even Wakelet.
Yeah, thank you, though. I mean, I love what you've just shown me. I think it's close to me a little bit as well in the sense of, can I just share something similar again? Sorry, one sec, I'm holding Yeah, just back to what you said, I think that's a beautiful use case, and I think I can see a lot of different things I can actually do with this. I'm a little bit of a hoarder of photographs as well. And what I've decided to do is just a simple use case, and we're going to add more functionality here, but I've got all these photographs that I've taken literally every single year, every single day. I decided to aggregate basically my best 2019 photographs and just store them all. So I've done this for every single year for the past 5 years. It's just nice to kind of be able to throw maps in, throw videos in, throw tweets in, and throw photographs, and just literally a very simple and easy use case. And I've kept it kind of private. At the moment, it's all kind of our trips and what we've been doing in the team and what's been going on in my personal life. And so I think with the technologies that we've seen, there's so many different ways you can use them. I mean, if we could think of all the stuff that they can be used for you guys, it would probably be too limiting. And I think the exciting thing about Flipgrid, Buncee, and Wakelet is all the different ways it's being used and the ways that it can be used we've not even thought of yet.
I had a thought about trying to come up with the perfect app smash for Mother's Day. So maybe you put out a grid for your family to record. I hope my kids are taking notes here. Just saying. You put out a grid to have the family members record in the grid about their mom. And then maybe right now we are all these companies are talking to each other about different ways to integrate more fully going forward. But so you make the video either in Flipgrid, and then you make some Buncees, and then put them into a Wakelet and send it to your mother.
I love it.
Just
That
saying.
is so mega.
I love that. I think, but I do think though that, like, even though we've shown quite a lot of stuff that we've kind of come up with today, I think, and I always say this, I think like the true innovators are the teachers. Like when I'm sure that everybody, from Flipgrid and Buncee kind of feel the same way. It's like when we started out with these platforms, there's no way that we could have ever imagined that they were being used for newsletters and, get well cards and, that incredible use case that Anne showed. I think that it really is the teachers and the educators that come up with these incredible ways. We just kind of like give the blank canvas. We're like, okay, here's a pen and here's a canvas, and it's the teachers that go crazy with them. So yeah, big shout out to the educators for making our lives way more interesting. Looking at all these use cases.
There's a saying in technology, you'll build it, but it will speak to you. So you have a certain vision of how your tool may be used. But to Misbah's point, it's not until it's really out in the community that you really start to see the different ways it's used.
And I was just going to say, Marie, to continue on that thought, connecting in a day like this and sharing and celebrating the incredible things that educators everywhere are doing. This is like an idea fest
Right.
of one person might have seen something and it sparked a thought, hey, I could use that, I could remix that. And from my own time in the classroom, teachers remix each other's ideas all the time. So the idea is the beauty of the interconnectedness of educators around the world simply sharing. And I love that, a hashtag curates the conversation. So with Heart While Apart will linger, and so many learning moments will be sparked from this, this hour or so that we spend together. But I love that, because Misbah's absolutely right. And I know you experience this with Buncee as well, and we do with Flipgrid. What educators are doing is beyond inspiring, and it's incredible to see the unique ways a tool can empower, and it's limitless. It's limitless. So again, it's just such a celebration of ideas from around the world.
And I echo what you said, Anne. I mean, from our side, we've had so many people reach out and tell us about features that we've never even thought about that they'd like to help the tools go to a different level. And I think Marie and you have probably had the same thing. And we're always excited to hear them jump on and understand how people want to use that and try to incorporate them in the tools to make them even better for you.
But I also would like to, since we're on Teams, I do want to give a shout out to Microsoft. Besides the fact that Teams is here supporting us in this communication, but at the end of the day, truthfully, Immersive Reader really allows all of us to stay connected. So it's a true honor for us. I'll speak for us, but I'm sure you feel the same way, to have Immersive Reader in our tool. So it just allows everybody to stay connected.
Yeah, and I know Becky must have just gotten real excited about that, because she's a Microsoft everything girl. Is there anything you wanted to add or throw in, Becky?
Well, there is. I was just waiting for the right moment, because I know we're over time and people probably have things starting on the hour that we're now late for. But I just loved what Jamil said about trying to create a product where teachers can just go work their magic and the product fades into the background as the conduit, for what's really happening. And I just so appreciate the three tools we're highlighting, as well as Microsoft, for putting student needs at the center. And I think that's what everyone, the 120 people who've joined on this conversation and more that are tweeting, that's why we're all in this together, is because we care about kids and learning. And not only do we care that they meet some academic standards, we care about them as human beings. And I just see that shining through from so many companies right now who are in this to make life just a little bit better for everyone. So I just completely appreciate everything that's happened and the opportunity to join and help moderate the chat and help people get resources and help people get to the chat. It's been an amazing and inspiring conversation.
Sorry, can I just jump in as my last point? Because like I said, I know that we're out of time, but I just want to say a huge thank you to Kathy, because since I've known you, I honestly struggle to find another person in my life, in my orbit, that is as hardworking and as passionate and just as amazing as you are. And I love that you have that emotional touch. I love that you've done this to bring people together. There's been over 100 people tonight who are all, just listening to us and hopefully spreading that joy and positivity. And it's all because of you reaching out with an email to us three to get us together. So, and every event that we're at, everything, you're just like this magic kind of spark of energy. And I just want to say, on behalf of myself and the Wakelet team, it really is just an honor and a privilege to be working with you and have us in our space. We're really lucky to. We really appreciate it.
And just to add, Kathy, sorry, on top of what Misbah said, I think the key thing for us is genuine and authentic, what you're trying to do. And I think that's what resonates with us as a company. And I'm sure with Flipgrid and basically Buncee as well. So thanks so much from our side again.
I couldn't say it any better. Kathy, Becky, thank you so much. You've given us an opportunity to share some amazing work we've seen from educators, and just to have a nice chat. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
and for the record, all I did was say yes. Kathy was like, I'm doing this thing, you have to help. Like, sure, okay.
It starts with an idea, and that idea is rooted in heart. So the title With Heart Will Apart is a perfect title, and it was an idea that was in Kathy's heart, and it now is spreading around the world, and it just speaks to a better together mindset and the fact that communities, you can't cancel community, and the heart will continue. So thank you, Kathy, on behalf of Team Flipgrid, and thank you not only to Buncee and Wakelet, but to all the educators. You inspire us every single day, and that please don't take that for lip service. It is heartfelt and true, and from all of our teams, we are inspired every single day. So Kathy, thank you, and everybody, thank you so much.
I'd like to end with a giant thank you right back at all of you. You all make my soul smile by the things that you do, and you bring so much goodness to my life. And I want to let everybody know who's still here on the call that when I approached all three companies, all three of them said, we don't want to prepare slides for this. We don't want to present our tool or things that we've created. We really want this to be a celebration of what educators are already doing. And so you'll notice throughout this, everything that they shared were things that, oh, we saw somebody do this, we saw somebody do this. And so they're celebrating you, the community, and the three different communities. And that's where I'll bring it full circle. When you registered for this, you filled out a Microsoft form. And the last question on there was, what is your familiarity with each of the three platforms? And I went through and I looked at that data, and I can see from that data that we have people on this call who said, I haven't tried it yet, to one or more tools. So some of you are here and you knew Buncee, but you didn't know Wakelet, or you knew Flipgrid, but you didn't know Buncee. And so hopefully by being on this call with the three most amazing, like the triumvirate of ed tech right here, you've become inspired to try something new and try something you haven't. And look what just happened. Our three little communities just became one bigger community. And I think that's kind of what we wanted to achieve today. So we all hope that's what you got out of this. And thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I'm not ready to leave, so there's always an after party, and I'm sticking around. I know people are going to be leave, but I want to see your faces. So people's screens are popping up, and it's just, hi, Glorianne. Oh my God. This is the after party, and oh my gosh. It's just so inspiring to see a smile from friends, because we can't.
Oh, Louie.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hug.
I know, all of you.
Thanks, Louie.
Alice.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Oh, our friend Maria, hi. I see Dr. Harvey. Oh my gosh, all of these incredible friends from around the world.
Thank you.
Hi.
It was awesome.
Hi. Oh, incredible. Kathy, thank you so much for this.
This was so great. I just want to go do things and make things.
Yeah,
Right.
thanks for having this, putting this together. This was
Look,
awesome.
nice, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
incredible.
Cheers, Dan.
All right, Pam, thank
Cheers,
you.
Maria, you go.
Kathy, I'm going to go back to sleep.
All right, take
Bye.
care, guys.
Bye.
Oh, Michael.
Folks who
Yeah.
stayed up around the world, Dr.
Yes.
Harvey, oh my gosh.
Thanks for staying up.
Yeah, no worries. Bye.
Bye, Michael.
Incredible.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning where Michael is. It's just crazy. He told me.
Incredible.
Malaysia.
Yeah, I'm looking at the names and just recognize so many names from social and friends from around the world. It's so inspiring.
Oh, Priscilla was here and Seth was here. I see lots of people that I know.
Yep.
Honestly, Kath, this was amazing.
It was so good. I knew it would just flow. Like somebody in the chat said an hour. I could stay on this conversation all day.
Yeah, I think so as well. We could have spent a lot more time here.
I know.
Is that Maria?
It is. Hi, Maria.
Hey. I can tell Maria just from her nose down.
The happiest smile. Oh my God.
Yes, absolutely.
Love it.
We should try to get a Mother's Day thing, figure out a fun thing to do together.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, we're always up to help and do whatever we can do.
Actually, we did get one started. Someone wants to do a cooking recipe thing, but it would be really cute to have, like, put it all together, you know, where you make a card and you have all the video from Flipgrid from all the family members. There was something Cheska did for me a couple of years ago, but basically it was like a Flipgrid kind of thing where people in the family all recorded. This is years ago. Yeah. But if you, and then you could have the different family members put it together and put them all into a Wakelet.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the collection after this with all the tweets and all the ideas. And
yeah,
you know, I have a ton of tweets that I didn't even share, but I'll definitely add them to the collection and share them out. But my goodness gracious, all of those stories, it just filled my bucket. So walking away from this, it's like that extension of everybody, and like it's that digital hug that we just shared. So
I love that Hippocratic oath. That is
amazing. I literally had chills.
Yeah, that is amazing.
I spent the entire day when that tweet came out. I think I saw it around 8:30 in the morning, and I literally wept all day long. Yeah. Just, I would watch a different video. I had never heard it the whole way through. And the words of the oath are so powerful. Mm-hmm. But to think those doctors are leaving their schooling and immediately going into medical service to serve people. Like it, oh my God, I just cried all day long. Yeah. And then you start to hear the words from like the provost of the university and the professors on the celebratory grid. And it just made me think about all of those milestone moments. They're coming. You know, I graduated from my own university at the beginning of April. So it's a very on time, hard conversation to be having, but how do you still celebrate? And you deserve to still celebrate. And there are moments to still celebrate. But that grid got me in all the feels.
That one had international impact. People were talking about that all over the world.
Yeah.
Boy, and I love one of the tweets I didn't share, but it's such a cool example was Joe Merrill created this place called a Flipgrid grid called The Playground, and it legit is just a space to connect with your friends. So like Tisha's I Miss Your Face grid, all of these places and all of these ways for folks to just make that connection. And that to me is what it comes back for, is how do you foster that connection? And I think about like the Buncee boards that people are making for heroes. I know Jam, I mean, you know how I feel about Wakelet. I love it and I use it every day in my real life. And then what we see people doing on Flipgrid, it's so inspiring. So it's just, Kathy, thank you again for asking us to be a part of this. So
no, thank you, Anne. And we feel the same way around you and Buncee. And I'm speaking with Marie about more things that we're going to do with Buncee. And also we've got a lot more ideas when we bring in basically the commenting and having reply with Flipgrid videos and stuff. So we're looking at doing more things very soon. We want to expand and do what we can do together.
You know, yeah, I was going to say, Jam, I know there's about 10 people on the call still. And there was a tweet the other day about new information you guys are dropping as a company. Has that been made public yet? Or when is that coming? Because my time zones might be off a little bit.
What type of information was that?
I don't know, but I thought Tejas or somebody tweeted out that there's a big announcement coming this week.
Well, there was. And
yes.
It was supposed to be tonight, but there was a bug.
Oh, somebody in the chat actually put all the letters. Is this the big announcement?
Yeah, that's what I saw that too.
It'll be, I think it's scheduled for next week now, but there was a bug that came out last minute, and it was like,
well,
you gotta hate when that happens.
I was gonna say that happens, so better to catch it. Yeah, better to catch it and do a little rework and iteration. But I know that the world is waiting for this announcement.
It's actually quite cool. It's actually quite cool.
I can't wait.
Is this bit still going out?
This is, I mean,
is,
it's
yes,
still being
it is.
recorded.
So,
Don't-
yeah.
Hang on.
Okay, I was going to share it with you, but I'll leave that for another day. I don't want
Yeah,
to spoil
I
everyone's
just
party.
stopped the recording.
But